So I've had a few questions about trading order flow and specifically what is it? I described it on another video, talked about its effectiveness in terms of a trading strategy. But a few people have said, oh, can you elaborate a bit and tell me more specifically what you're looking for? And if we arrive at a market, the most important thing to realise is that horses have to get saddled up, they're taken to the parade ring, and then taken to post. But until that happens, a lot of people won't place a bet in a market because they can't see how the horse is behaving. It's a bit like trying to buy a second-hand car without looking at it. You don't want to part with your cash until you can see the goods. So when you look at the market, the same thing is happening. So the most important thing when you trade order flow is to wait for the money to arrive. So I've arrived in this market at Sedgefield with about 3.5 minutes to go, and we can see that there's plenty of money coming through the market. When you look at the top of the betangel screen, you'll see how much money's been traded so far and how quickly that is increasing. If you don't see this, you can adjust and bring this up in the settings. But then your objective is to start looking at the market to understand what's going on. So when this screen first appeared, all of the runners were level in terms of the odds. We basically centralized the ladder by pressing the enter key, and that meant all of them were level. And by doing this, what it allows you to understand is where the current price activity in the market, where most of the backing is. So if we look at this market, we can see that the price on the second favourite has been moving in, and therefore you can see that that has been backed. And we can see that the price on the favourite has been drifting out gently. So even from a base level, that gives you a clue as to what's going on. You can see they don't like the favourite, they like the second favourite, and they like the fourth favourite a little bit as well. But for example, if they like the second favourite and the fourth favourite, then that's probably going to put pressure on the second and the first to start drifting out. But let's look at some of the detail that's sitting behind that as well. You can see that on here is where the most amount of money has been traded. So you can see there's £5,000 or so at each individual price has been traded on the second favourite. And you can see the bigger the colour here, the more money has been traded. So you can see there's not been much money up here, plenty down here. But the darker colour, which you can use to define if you wish, is how much money's been traded in the last 60 seconds. So you can see there's been quite a bit of money traded, but can you see the shape of that money? You can see that there's not much here, quite a bit there, some more there, not quite as much as that, but there's plenty there, and now it's getting matched at the level below. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking specifically about order flow. We can see that he's being backed here. That is pulling the price in, but as a consequence you can see it's pushing the other prices out on this particular occasion. If we look at the favourite, you can see that most of the money was matched down here, but it's gradually been drifting, and you know there's quite a bit more money up here. But the interesting thing is you can see this is sort of stalled. It doesn't have the same shape that you can see on the second favourite, which is now about to disappear off the bottom of the ladder. If I click here and press enter, it will centralise the ladders again, so we can restart the whole thing from this particular point within the market. So let's see where we think this is going to go and whether we think the second favourite will stall. If you look, it reached the price at 4, there was reasonable amounts of money, and then it charged down to about 3.5. But can you see that the money's sort of drying up a little bit here? So if I was looking at trading this, I would start looking for confirmation that maybe nobody's willing to back it below this current point within the market, and therefore the price is going to start going up. And if the price is going to start going up there, then you'll probably see support for the favourite coming in over here. But you can also see that since we recentered the ladder, there's been a bit of support for the third favourite. So if we get two of them that are obviously receiving backing activity, then that will help push the price of the second favourite up in the other direction. And you know, when people see something go from 4s down to lower levels, there's a big chunk of money went in the market just there, that there's a natural tendency to try and jump on that and then, you know, see it go much lower. So there's a bit of late backing here on this second favourite. But you can see that when we saw it reach this sort of level, we became a little bit more cautious. We may have got lucky on this particular occasion if we'd backed it at this particular price. But my instinct when we're down at this level is to look at the other runners, look at where the orders are going in, and then not trade the continuation of that backing, but to oppose it. On this occasion, there was some late money in there. Things like that are going to happen. You know, we're trying to make a general judgment on where the price activity is. You can't guarantee that you're absolutely going to nail it every time. But when we're talking about trading order flow, this is the sort of thing that we're looking at. It's in play now, which is why the market is jumping around a bit. But when you're trading order flow, you're looking at the flow of money, you're looking at how that's influencing prices and how movement across the book is likely to influence the position that you're in. But yeah, there's a lot of depth on it because, you know, we should be looking at charts as well, and I'm looking at charts above the current screen that you can't see at this particular moment in time. But if you're trading order flow, you're looking at where the backing money is going, where that's influencing price, and how that and the other positions that you can see across the market are going to influence your particular trade.